National Geek Driver here. This isn't going to be a long stream because we're almost at the end of the day. But I wanted to go live and update everybody on where things are at. I've got a car full of Spark right now. So we're just pulling out. I wanted to get the stream started. I decided to start the stream after I did the pickup because I don't like to film the Spark pickups because I know the employees there can be a little bit weird. And this was a big one. So I figured, you know what? I'll let the pickup go through, and then we're talking. So, where are things at, guys? Well, you're looking. We've taken some AR hit today. We did a little bit of DoorDashing. It's not been a great day on the DoorDash app. There's been a couple of halfway decent orders that we did, but it was not without having to drop our AR a little bit. So we are at 90%. So we're still in the 90% category. 100% completion rate, 4.97 customer rating, 315 deliveries in the last 30 days. Now that's a number we're going to watch fall, I think, because, we're going to see as we go into phase 2, as we work today, it's going to be a little bit harder to maintain those deliveries because we're not going to be as hyper-focused on DoorDash every day. Now, we are going to be trying to do a certain amount of DoorDashes a day because we have to maintain at least 100 deliveries in the last 30 days. So that does require at least some days that I'm out to make sure that I'm doing a certain number of DoorDashes. So that's Ari Mac. Good to see you, sir. $18. Nice. Today's been a banger day on Spark. I mean, we have had some really nice Sparks. Now, I had my kids with me earlier today, so I wasn't live. I had them out, and then I had to pick my son up. He unfortunately, there was a mishap with his vehicle while he was on vacation, and now I'm responsible for transportation now for a little while. Now, tomorrow he gets a rental car, but today I had to go pick him up from work and all that stuff, and we went and got them dinner, dropped them off. Well, my 14-year-old and my 4-year-old and I all went out and we did some sparking today. We made, before we got back, we made, $101 in about 4 hours. All right, so we're at our first Spark drop-off. Marquez, I'll be right back, okay? Give me a moment. All right, guys. So we're on to the next drop off. We got 9 minutes to go. So, like I said, we're almost at 150 for the day. Which, like I said, on these Mondays and Tuesdays, normally when I have my kids and I'm working with them, and we're kind of spotty all over the place. You know, my goal that day, my goal on those days is my normal goal is to at least try to hit 200. But if it's looking spotty, I try to get in. I'll stop at 150 if I need to, because if my dad duties call, because my wife's working. So right now I have my 18-year-old at the house. He's watching the house for me, and I try to keep a perimeter. I'm not going to go too crazy or go too far away. She'll be home soon, but you know, it's kind of how I try to work these Mondays and Tuesdays. Now, I don't think 150 is going to be too hard to get. We're only, what, $15 away. I'm hoping, it's 8:30 right now. I'm hoping that when we get off this order, we have the potential to get maybe another Spark curbside. That would be fantastic. The curbsides have been humming today with huge ones. I got a $35 one stop earlier. It was going 15 miles in the direction to go where I need to get my son. We got a $25 two stop. It was 11 miles, but I mean, it was over $2 a mile, so it got us to where we needed to. And then we got that $35 one followed up shortly thereafter. A couple of DoorDashes have been okay. They've been platinum. We've gotten some platinum offers today as we use the decline button. How you doing, Kevin Hawthorne? How you doing, I'm Nefarious? Good to see you guys. We use that decline button a little bit, but like I said, we've been able to maintain. I took, you know, there was an order or two that I took that was a little on the line, but you know, the way I see it is if I'm going to try to maintain my acceptance rate, I'm going to have to take, my goal is to take on the line. I don't want to go crazy. The ones I turned down, I got a $2.50 McDonald's order, I believe, no, Chick-fil-A order going 10 miles. I turned that one down. I got a $4.50 going 8 miles, and I turned that one down. So those were two turn downs I did. There was one turn down I did. It was $5.50 for 6 miles. It was a shop for Petco, and I just said, I'm not doing a shop for $5.50. It's just not going to happen. Can't do that. Then I got another shop for $7.50 for 12 and a half miles, and I turned that one down. Those were the 4 turn downs I did today. And we actually gained an acceptance rate percentage. So we went from 93 to 94, and then we went all the way down, and then we went down to 90. So I guess there must be one more in there. I have to look through. So I'm Nefarious. You had a slow day today? Like I said, DoorDash wasn't necessarily slow. I just was turning it off quite a bit. I ended up on I did take at one point an $11 Target shop. It was for 4 items. And my little one was with me, and he wanted to get out of the car, but then there was an accident at the entrance to the Target shopping center, and you couldn't get in, and they were like, it was like, I'm not even going near there. So I actually called Uber, said, hey, there's an accident, I can't get in, and they let me off the order. So if that would have been gone, that was only 3 miles. It was literally a mile to the store and then 2 miles to the customer afterwards. That would have been a nice one to get. You never know, sometimes there's extra on those, because it, you know, was more than $8. So, you know, who knows what that would have paid us. We'd have been in an even better spot. We did do one courtesy. It was a Chick-fil-A order, and it was, I think it was $5.50. I'd accepted it. It was $5.50 going 8 miles, and I was going to do it because I didn't mind where it was taking us, but then I looked and realized it was going to a business, and it was like all these instructions to get in the building and all this stuff, and I said, $5.50, we're not doing that. And there was a wait, and pretty much we were right on the line of, I just said, you know what, I'm walking out. One more minute, I'm in the territory. By the time I got back to the car, and my son and I ordered Chipotle My little one had gotten a McDonald's Happy Meal at a McDonald's pickup. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to drive 10 miles back to come get our Chipotle. Nah. Ari Mac, 78%. So are you gold status then, Ari? Because I think you can be gold. You can be gold without having to get the 100 deliveries in, which I think is your problem, I believe, because you're on a bike. Completion rate, I'm sure, is at 95. But, it's only going to get worse, so we're going to have to train ourselves to be at higher and higher acceptance rates if we want to maintain these different positions. Also, big update, guys, on an issue. Now, interestingly enough, today they took care of it for me, but basically yesterday I was off, as everybody probably knew, and I called in because my 1-star was still there. So I called in, and that triggered a whole conversation, and then I'd gotten a 4-star rating yesterday, or the day before. And as I had been instructed to do, since I had a VIP Dasher support on the phone, I inquired about the 4-star, and I said, is that one of my eligible two removals I could do? And of course, I got one of the world's rudest Dasher support agents, so we ended up at odds. They literally hung up on me. I wasn't even being rude. I was being very polite, but they hung up on me because they basically contradicted themselves. And they told me that, number one, Dasher support, VIP Dasher support doesn't actually exist. That they service all Dashers. I said, well, then why is it a perk? I said, so be careful with your words that you're saying right now, because if you're telling me that DoorDash, if you're representing to me that there's a Dasher rewards program, that DoorDash has put VIP Dasher support in there, and you're trying to tell me there's no perks. I said, this was offered to me by a support agent when I called in about another issue. And basically at that point the conversation ended. So I finally got another support agent on. They were able to take care of the 1-star finally, which that agent said they weren't able to do, but this one did. And then I said, well, what's going on with this 4-star? Because basically what they were telling me is and this was the customer to add it $5. And I'm like, they told me what it was McDonald's. I knew there was 1 or 2 McDonald's. I said, can you tell me if it was handed to me or leave it door? They said, it's the leave it door. I said, okay, the leave it door one gave me an extra $5. I said, and it ended up coming out. And she said, well, there must have been something with the interaction. I said, yes, something in my interaction led to them giving me an extra $5. So can you please tell me what in the world would have led to them giving me a 4-star rating? I said, it had to have been something with well, they didn't put in there. Maybe it was a missing item, but they actually have to put it in there. I said, well, I was told they have this Dasher forgiveness. If you're at VIP, if you get VIP support, you get 2 forgiven ratings a week. You just have to call in, ask about it, and as long as it's not because you didn't deliver, I said, it's kind of regulating this kind of gray area that we're in right now. And she said, no, what that is it's expedited ratings removal. That it still has to fall within the, excluded ones, but instead of having to wait for the system to exclude it, you can call in twice a week and have them remove them prematurely so you don't have to wait for the system to catch up. I said, well, I guess that kind of makes sense. So that wasn't how it was pitched to me. But this person was very nice, took the time to talk to me humanly. And I said, okay, I understand. So, apparently, that it's not that you get ratings forgiveness. It's just that you can call in and get certain exclusionary ones. That interesting thing was I was told there was no way they were going to be removing that. I wake up this morning, right before I go out, I always check my ratings, and sure enough, the 4-star's gone. So, apparently either the system took it out, or somebody, after they got off the phone with me, re-looked at this thing and said, hey, oh yeah, we can actually do it. Anyways, all right, guys, we're at the next stop. We're at the next delivery. All right, let's go get this drop off. All right, so continue now. All right, so on to our final one. Our final drop off is 4 minutes away. I gotta turn around. Oh no, that's gonna let me turn around out here. So there we go. That was the biggest of the three orders. So now we'll move on to the second biggest. The first one was the smallest. So it's always good to get those out of the way. And then anyway, so like I said, not a bad day. This is a typical day. This is definitely, like, I don't feel as tired today. I don't feel as, because although we were out, it was like we weren't working as much, right? We literally got a majority of our money in 3 orders, and that's how it normally goes for me on Spark. And like I said, right now there's a potential for shops that's coming. Now, one interesting thing that happened, I don't know how Spark is in your market, but the one order we took me to the state of Virginia. So I whenever I go into a different state on Spark, I'll switch over to that after I get done, just to see what's up, see what the app looks like, see if there's any changes. And sure enough, I switch in. I didn't get started on it, but I switch in and the metrics were different. They actually have a completion rate. Well, let me tell you, my metrics are all green. Okay, the only thing that's not green right now is let me double check this and see for certain. But the only thing that's not green right now in my area, in my normal area, actually I have a 5.0 customer rating right now on Spark. I have the only thing that's not green is my acceptance rate. I have a 98% on time. I have a 4% drop rate. I have a 5-star customer rating, and I have 18% accepted offers. And that's always kind of low for me on Spark. So, but sometimes it goes up. I think the highest I've ever gotten was like 35% in the NFL, or it'll fall to 0. The way the ratings are in my area, it almost feels like it's like if you take 2 weeks off, you can reset all your ratings, your customer ratings included. But anyways, I get over there, man, and I turned my ratings page on. I freaked out. I thought something changed and I didn't know about it. Man, my ratings sucked. I literally had a 4.2 or 4.4 customer rating. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? I had a 70% completion rate. I had whatever, my acceptance rate looked the same. The only thing that was good was my on time was still 98%. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, everything was red or whatever, the lowest possible thing that it could possibly be. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm reading on it. It offers me a training on so I thought, hell, how did this happen? Look, I'm all right. I was looking at it yesterday, but my ratings have all been okay. As soon as I transferred over, I transferred back into my new market, my own market. I go from 4.4 customer rating to 5. So are you telling me someone rated me tonight? Maybe. But how do I go to a 5 if I'm at 4.4? So apparently there's a different rating system out there. I don't know if it's coming to a market soon or if it's a previous one, but it has something called a completion rate. And the completion rate is different than the drop rate. It actually is how many orders did you successfully deliver after accepting them, or you had to cancel them because like they got canceled because maybe you broke the perishable. And I was at 70%. And I'm like, I've never had an order canceled for any reason. I always deliver them. So it was about to trigger a call in to support, but then I go over here and now I'm all good. So over here, top dog, I'm gonna get probably my free Walmart Plus potentially if I maintain this for the rest of the month. Whereas if I go to Virginia, I'm bottom. I'm scum. So what the hell, Spark? Does anyone know what the hell's going on with that, or why that's the case, or what's happening with it? If you do, if you're a Spark driver out there and you can elaborate, is this a new rating system that's on its way to us that we're going to have to, obviously I imagine when it comes there's going to be a period of time where maybe they're going to adjust, maybe not, I don't know. But apparently I'm not doing very well on it. Give me a moment, guys. Geo Mariquin, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Well, you got a multi-app, Geo. I agree with you. DoorDash is tough. Today it was, I went down from 90, starting the day out at 93. I went up to 94, then went abruptly down to 90% acceptance rate. I think I made today on DoorDash, not a lot of my money today on DoorDash. I made today $41 on DoorDash today. Worked an hour and 54 minutes, so just under 2 hours. So yeah, 2 hours of work on DoorDash. We're back to the normal. Like I said, now I've made 100 with this order. I made 134, and so majority of it's come from Spark. Spark is the key here. You know, I think it's going to be a key for a lot of people. You've got to Spark and DoorDash complement each other because of the locations of the Walmarts, a lot, in my opinion, and what you can do with it. And if you can, like right now, I don't really have any orders that I think to me are worth driving to another Walmart for. My Walmart right now doesn't have anything up. I've got a 1578 10 mile for a Walmart that would require me to drive 10 miles to. So that's really 20 miles for $15, no way. Then we've got 1738, 2 stops, I mean, two customer drop-offs, 9.5 miles. Again, 19.5 miles is technically 20 miles. No way. So we're not going to do that. Now, well, I think, Geo, what's happening on it is I don't know how you work. Did you cherry pick when you made the 300 on DoorDash, or were you accepting every order, or what are your standards? Because I think what DoorDash is doing is they're attacking the cherry picking, number one. So it's going to be difficult to do that. Certainly $300 days are becoming a thing of past, I think, unless you're willing to work 16 hours to do it, which is kind of crazy. So it can happen. You know, you get the right mix in a day, shops, large order programs, pizza deliveries, and you work 8 to 12 hours, you could probably make 300 on certain days, but it's not going to be a normal. Normal on DoorDash right now, I think 150 to 250, somewhere in that range is where you're going to fall, and it's going to require you to work 8 to 10 hours to do it. I think really the approach to gig work has to be, I mean, you have to determine, is that enough for your situation if you're going to try to do one day? Because I demonstrated it the 1 week. All I did was earn by time with a little bit of earn by offer in there, very little, and I made $860. But I had to work 39 hours to do it. Well, what's your acceptance rate, Geo? Because what I will say is what they've done. The one thing they have effectively done is it's not that you're overwhelmed with good orders. It's just they've directed the order flow away from dashers with lower acceptance rates. So now you're not even getting the opportunity to take bad orders. And then the only thing you're seeing are orders that aren't very good. And then you take that order and you're not able to get a flow going. So you know, earn by time is going to be the place you're going to have to go. If you've got a low acceptance rate and you're trying to get it higher, that's true. Yes, students will do it. You know, but I think, you know, they're throttling drivers at lower acceptance rates. That's exactly right on the Ferris. That's the word I'm looking for. So you were at 90%, Geo? Okay. Well, you know, that might just be a market that's dead. Like I said, I mean, I think that's something that could happen. I said that a year ago, where I said priority is an illusion when everybody has a high acceptance rate. My theory is that everyone won't be able to have a high acceptance rate because it's too difficult. So it's going to eventually put dashers in the position. Again, chasing acceptance rate puts you, and I proved it to myself over the month of June. To maintain, I had periods of time. The higher your rate gets, you're going to get clumping in your acceptance rate because they're basing it off the last 100. And as a result, when you get up to like 80, 90%, you're going to have a period of time where you're going to have to take 30 to 40 orders in a row, and there's no getting around it. Good Billy, it takes so long. Yeah, well, like I said, there are some markets where it may just be dead. What's your completion rate, Gio? And what's your customer rating? Because I have found customer rating and completion rating can have a bigger impact, in my opinion, than acceptance rating. If your customer rating falls low, I've noticed you will get deprioritized, even if you have a high acceptance rate. And then your completion rate as well, because completion rating now, remember, it's a spectrum of 90 to 100. So if you're at 90, in the old days, if you were at 91, you were golden. That was a really good completion rate. Now, if you're at 91, you're considered to be 1 point away from where you're at the line. So the cutoff is you got to be at 95 or higher. And if you're not, and that's where your stats are going to give you the ability to see orders on a consistent basis. Doesn't mean you're going to see orders you like every time. So you're going to have to be willing to make a concession or two. But that's the point, I think, of what DoorDash is doing with its system. Is it's created a system where, we will no longer be in control. We're either going to take the orders that are on our screen and take them because we have to, or we can cherry pick, but we're going to have to cherry pick with a lot of different apps. Well, Gio, how do you know? I mean, now you say you've seen them from Venezuela. Did you engage them? Did you talk to them? How do you know they have two phones? How do you know there are DoorDash accounts on those two phones? What evidence? I mean, did you go over and talk to them and say, "Hey guys"? I mean, obviously, if they're illegal immigrants, or do you speak Venezuelan? So how do you know what you saw? That's what I'm saying. I hear all this stuff drivers talking about it. I've seen foreigners. I see foreigners all the time. I see them sometimes doing the apps. But my thing is, how do you know what they had on their phone? Well, my issue, I went back in on the ferries yesterday and was checking out GridWise, and the issue with GridWise is they're not actually in my area, so they just give me Baltimore. I guess my area isn't big enough. So I get Baltimore's info. So it's basically just telling me if I was in Baltimore working, and it tells me that. So sorry, your area isn't big enough, so you're part of the Baltimore area. So all I get is the Baltimore details. Oh, you've got, if you want to go over here to this section of Baltimore, the airport, the this, the that, and I'm like, that's not very helpful. I mean, because up near me, I need to see what's going on in my area. That's where I work, and it's certainly not helpful to say, oh yeah, well, you're part of the Baltimore region. I understand that. Yes, I am on the Uber app, but not on the DoorDash app. DoorDash sees it as Martinsburg. It's its own separate place. You got Hagerstown, you got Martinsburg. I mean, we got a whole world down there that GridWise just tries to throw me to Baltimore. So again, that was the issue I had before with it. Once I got on, I remembered it. I'm like, oh yeah, it doesn't cover my area. So all the wonderful information it's offering everybody doesn't make it. Well, I mean, how do you know this, Gio? That's what I'm asking. Like, I'm not asking it to be argumentative. I'm just saying, literally, how do you know this? I mean, I see two guys riding in a car. I see two phones. How do you know they have DoorDash? I mean, how do you know they have Spark? How do you know what apps are on their phone? I mean, where are we getting this information from? I mean, I see drivers talk all the time about this. Like, oh, I saw this, I saw that. Are you going over and actually, you did go over and talk to them? So they know English then? That's good. I mean, because a lot of people say they're not English speaking. And I'm like, well then, and they told you. So what do they tell you? DoorDash let them in without a visa, or let them work the app without a visa because they let them sign up. And then they're working, you know Spanish, okay, I got you. But I'm saying, so you, but you're saying they told you that they were here basically on without a visa, without a work visa, and DoorDash let them be here without a visa and work that. That's a problem. I mean, that's ridiculous. So how did they tell you how they got their phones? I mean, how did they get 2 phones? How did they get 2 accounts? I mean, obviously they can't be both for themselves. They're getting a permit to work. Oh, okay. So then if they have a permit to work, then, I mean, that's okay then, I guess. But don't they have to have an area then that, like in my area, you could have a whole van full of illegals come into this area and try to sign up. You're not going to get signed up. And that's been like that for the last probably year and a half. We've had no referral fees, nothing. Now, I know you're in a more metropolitan area. Oh, okay. I got you. And what advantage does that give them? Because I have had my wife has a DoorDash account. I never use it except for experiments. And I've seen where there's been 2 different size offers come in and different stuff like that. But ultimately, a lot of the merchants in my area have signs on their door that's like, if I walk in and the DoorDash account says it's a female name and I'm a male, they're going to ask that person to come in. I mean, I think what we have here, though, guys, is less of a. I mean, I don't understand why it's getting blamed on the illegals. It's Americans too that are working these apps at a large amount without any limitations as to how many can come on, because the apps are the only ones regulating that. So this was always what gig work was going to be, and this was always the plan of the apps. Now, whether it's some illegal immigrants that are coming on to the apps, or it's the college students that are 19 years old now and they can get on the app, and the fact that anybody, without limits, this is what you're up against. That's the goal of the gig apps, is to get a lot of workers. And the goal of the gig apps was never to make this a full-time gig. It's a gig. And DoorDash has been very clear on it in their literature when they tell you that the average DoorDasher dashes 4 hours a week, not 40, 4. It's 4 without the extra 0. And as a result, your expectation should not be that you're going to come to one app. And I've been saying this for a very long time. I've been living it for a very long time. That's why I don't work specifically just one app. Right now I don't even have my DoorDash app on. I'm trying to see what I can do on Spark. I turned on my Uber app. Actually, I need to take a picture. Thank you for reminding myself. So I kind of have an order that I will turn the apps on. Which, because DoorDash, I'm a little sensitive to my AR, or I'm sensitive to where I want to be at, then I don't necessarily pop the DoorDash app on as aggressive right now than I would if it was a beginning of the day and I was willing to go anywhere I wanted. Now, the thing is, right now, Spark is sending me stuff from a Walmart across my town. Oh, absolutely. Well, Geo, yes. And that's the whole point, is that, yes, these apps are, that was the design. It's by design. It's always been that way. This is the thing. We're blaming it on immigrants or saturation when the plan was never to ever pay you the amount you were getting years ago at the beginning of an app. When Spark first enters an area, they're overpaying. Why? Because they're drawing people in. They're getting people to sign up. They want to get word of mouth. Hey, this is a great new app, man. They're paying $40 for shops. On top of that, they're trying to train a customer on tipping, right? Because a majority of these customers at the beginning of this, they're getting Walmart Plus. They don't have it, so they're trying to figure out, well, we've got to get a certain percentage of our customer base to tip so we can get things rolling. Once they do, they start drawing back base pay. The high base pay originally is meant to, and if you look, okay, at the Spark literature, It was always, in my area, it was always $8 on a shop. Believe it or not. It's always been $8 on a shop. The extra money was considered to be bonus pay that they will add into the base pay. That was being extra calculated. But if you go back and you look, you see the going rate for a shop in Spark was never $20. And then curbside is $4. But they've always added extra to it. And they started out at a higher rate. It was built that way. If you go in and look. But a lot of people are like, oh, I was getting paid $40. Yeah, you were, because at that point there was no tips in the system and they needed to get these orders done. They wanted to get the drivers to the customers so the customers had a positive experience and would start using the service. Once they got enough customers using the service, then then they had the issue of tip baiting. The issue of tip baiting on Spark was because what Walmart was doing is they were not showing the actual tip to the customer at the checkout. And I learned this by being a customer of Spark myself, just to try it out and see what the customer was seeing. It was actually hidden. It was there, but you had to go down and find it. Most customers aren't. So they see this and they're even told, we're going to do an authorization for this amount and we'll give you your final amount. They were defaulting based on the size of the order, either a 7, a 10, a 14, 15, or $20 tip. So what would happen is that would go out to the driver and they'd say, here's your $20 base pay, or here's your $10 or $12 base pay, plus your $20 tip, $32. How you doing, Farshad? Welcome. And then the customer would get the finalization at the end. They would say, okay, here's what your order ended up being, and also here's your $20 tip. Now they would pose it more to the customer of, would you want to increase this or change the tip? You can do that. Now the customer's staring at this as like $20. I never agreed to that. Change it to 5. Some would change it to nothing. Some would drop it to 10. Or some would leave it on. Walmart was getting an idea from that customer. Well, what do you want to tip the driver? While at the same time baiting the driver in to get the driver to take these orders and drop it. And then they were getting data on the driver. All that's happening now is the AI has learned what the driver will accept. They've learned what the customer wants. They've learned how to present things to the customer. Of course, there were big complaints. So now they changed it and they said, okay, now we're going to make it apparent to where it is, because now it's apparent. Now it shows up in a way that the customer can see beforehand. That took care of the tip baiting issue. Tip baiting doesn't happen as frequent anymore. Maybe certain markets it does because it's new. Thank you, Farshad. I appreciate it. I'm doing well today. I appreciate the like, guys. We got 31 of you in there. Hit that like button. That ended up solving the issue of tip baiting, because they just simply were transparent, which they weren't being. And at that point, they'd already begun to figure out what customers were going to be tipping, what customers weren't, what drivers would accept, what they wouldn't, how much base pay they needed. And that's when the base pay adjustments, they started to adjust it down to the level they want to get it to, which the goal of all apps is to make drivers work for tips, a majority of tips. And in Walmart's case, just let them tip and try to get as little base pay as they can, because Walmart is not making money on their delivery service, because the customers are using Walmart Plus most of the time. So they're paying a fee. They're paying a fee for the service. So it's more of a service to get people to shop, and it's a convenience to keep them shopping in their store. Oh, no problem, Gio. Thanks for the ride share. Appreciate it. Well, to a degree they will, but as I've said in my previous lives, it will not. They can't fully take your job, because elements are going to listen. The idea that AI is going to take. Okay, you have to remember, DoorDash, Uber. In order for them to take our jobs, they would have to make a massive investment that they are unwilling to make right now on us. And that would be in a fleet of self-driving vehicles that they would have to maintain, that they would have to replenish, that they would have to recycle. We are doing all of that for $2, for $4, for $8 an order. Can you imagine the cost to deploy self-driving vehicles out? And you're not even talking about the regulatory costs. the licensing cost. All of these things would cost so much money and increase the overhead. It would do the one thing that these people don't want to do, and that's drive that up. That's all on the driver right now. We register our vehicles, we maintain inspections, we maintain state regulations, we do all that. That's a lie that these apps are willing to propagate on the drivers. Will there be some AI bots and stuff in cities and areas where it might make sense? Absolutely. Can drivers get tipped through a card affiliated with Walmart Plus? It's the one app. Every Walmart driver is required to register with the one app. That's the way they pay, and then all the tips go to that card. I don't believe the tipping is going to be paid out when you're doing the transaction. Well, like I said, it's just what it is. This is what the situation is. So a lot, everybody will go with the idea, oh, AI is it's an economic impossibility. Okay, so they're stuck with the driver because the investment will be too larger. The investment will be larger than, like everyone says, well, they want to cut human costs down. No, human costs, they're going to whittle us down, and what their goal is to turn us into driving bots, and to turn us into the, in other words, to automate us. That's what DoorDash is doing with their tier program. And it's akin to a game of chicken, but what it is remember, there is a untapped amount, because their goal is not to, this is not meant to replace your 9 to 5. Like some of us that are out here crazy enough doing that. It's not meant to replace your 9 to 5. What it is it's meant, they're relying on the 4 hours a week worker. They're relying on the guy that wants to go put a little extra money in an investment account. They're relying on the person, on the gal out there who says, my family's going on vacation and I'm going to go drive a few hours a weekend to put a little extra money as we're leading up to the vacation. That's who they're relying on. They are not relying on the full-time gig worker. They're not building their regulations. They're not building their work around it. They're not worried about us. That's why when a strike happens, they're not worried about it. They're laughing. They're like, okay, let's go take, it's like 1% of the workforce is striking today. That's fine, because the other 99% will be out working, and they're just going to get more orders. And they're going to get the orders that these people weren't taking, and it'll all be fine. Agent 86, what up? How you doing, Agent 86? Guided Reading says, laugh out loud, they need to come out with service robot bins to come pick up people's trash. I hate taking my apps. Well, something like that could happen. Waste management already has trucks. So the jobs that are going to be replaced by AI is not the gig driver where they're taking advantage of us to buy the resources. They'll be more akin to try to get us to maybe buy, electric vehicles. They will want us to do the investing in that stuff, and then they're going to use us, who has the asset, and then it will deplete our asset as we trade it for a few dollars. But the idea is if you're going to be someone who's going to dive into this and go, I'm full-time and I'm doing this as my main source of income, then yeah, you're going to get your asset depleted. You better have an idea of what you're doing as far as understanding that you have a vehicle. That's why if you're doing it full-time, you should have a vehicle that's pretty much dedicated to this, because what you're doing is you're just saying the life of this vehicle, 300,000 miles. Yeah, I might drive a little personal. Maybe I'm driving at 10%. So 30,000 of those miles will be. The rest, I'm turning it into cash. $2 a mile, $1.50 a mile, $3 a mile, I'm converting it. And then I'm taking a percentage of it and setting it aside so that I can rebuy a vehicle when this vehicle dies. So that's the full-time person. That's not the normal gig driver. The normal gig driver is, like I said, they're trading a few miles on their vehicle for a few dollars of cash. It's easier to do that than going over and applying for a job and having to worry about a work schedule and minimum work requirements. It's like, hey, it's vacation season. I'm going to go out and make $1,000. So I'll trade 1,000 miles on my car for $1,000. Listen, gig work, I said this from before. I came from the subprime lending industry. I came from the industry of title pawns and title loans and people trading their stuff. This is a better alternative than the person going on and getting a title pawn loan and trying where that doesn't, you're still having to trade extra time, but it never tells you how to get the job. It doesn't give you the work to do it. What they're doing is they're saying, okay, instead of going and pawning your car, go drive 1,000 miles for me. I'll pay you $1.50 a mile to do it, or maybe $1 a mile to do it, and you can get your $1,000 that you need. You're trading your time and your miles, which you would be doing anyways if you go out and take out one of those loans. So this is a replacement. This is going in with that section of the economy. And that's where they're gearing it towards. It's a stationary business and the customers come to you. They already got the self-order stations. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the new normal. That's how it starts. The average customer is not willing to pay the true cost of the service. Well, they're right, correct, to a degree. But in some cases they are. Listen, if the average DoorDash customer, if you think they're not paying, they're paying out their ass, man. They're paying out the ass of increased cost on the items. They're paying a maintenance fee to DoorDash. I mean, even and then they're paying a Dash Pass every month. And DoorDash's goal is to whittle down base pay to zero, allow the drivers to drive for tips, whether that's sliding tips over from earn by time over to earn by offer, or vice versa, but getting that to be a self-serving situation. And then they literally have income. Remember, one of the things that they will do is they're going to issue bonds on this. They issue bonds on credit cards. They issue bonds on lots of stuff. Their ultimate goal is to issue bonds on the income of the customers, because they can sit here and say, we have 10 million customers paying $10 a month, and they can then get money up front, and they will trade that money up front, invest it into technology, pay out their shareholders, and and for them in the end, there's nothing in DoorDash. There is no company in DoorDash. It doesn't exist. Their support is contracted. The only person that exists is Tony Hsu and the engineers. The engineers is what DoorDash is. And then I guess the exec board, Tony Hsu and the executives that are there. And you don't have some major building. And then, like I said, you say, well, I'm a DoorDash driver. You're a DoorDash driver the moment you're driving. When you're not right now, I'm not a DoorDash driver. Right now, I am a dad. I'm Steve. I'm just a regular guy sitting here waiting for something to come to my phone. And then I'll be driving a Spark order for $30, or I'll be driving a DoorDash order for $5. And at that point, I am contracted through DoorDash to go do that work. And I get paid, and then I'm done, and I'm out of it. So DoorDash doesn't employ anyone at all. They're not an employer. Believe it or not. A lot of people, no, you do not. You don't work, you work for yourself. In the end of the day, DoorDash tells you that. So do all the gig apps. You don't work for Spark. You don't work for Grubhub. You don't work for Instacart. You are simply using their platform, their technology to go do an order. That customer has paid them a fee, money, in some form. Instacart is passing along a certain amount of money to you. They're keeping a certain amount of the money that would have gone to you. You don't get to see any of that. And that's why I say, if the curative thing to make this fair and work, and I'm not saying it could work. This could work very well for the workers. In fact, as I was telling my son today, if gig work was used appropriately, it is a good melding together of AI. But AI right now, it's AI is being used to figure out how to exploit labor, as opposed to make labor more efficient and earn more and work less, which is the goal, and it has been the goal for years, knowing that these great technologies were coming. Now they're being used for profit. That's a societal debate that has to occur. What do we want it to be? We are subcontractors, AJ86. Not more like, we are subcontractors. It's exactly what we are, to a degree. But I mean, but we're not subcontractors of DoorDash. We're subcontractors of technically the restaurant, of the of the restaurant for providing them the delivery service, and then our customers. But they're really the customer is really a customer of the restaurant, and the restaurant has subcontracted us through DoorDash to work for them on their behalf, or Walmart, or Martin's food store, or whatever. That's the relationship, but that relationship exists only within that certain contract. And when that contract is done, We are nothing. We are sitting in a parking lot. We are nobody again. We are unemployed. I'm unemployed right now. I made money today, but I'm unemployed. I mean, technically. But, you know, I'm also, that's why I get to the self-employed. I'm going out, I'm figuring it out, I'm making money, I'm figuring out how to make money. And then as I see fit, I turn on more apps to see what I can get. Like right now, I need to turn on more apps because Spark ain't working. Spark's across town. If I want to go drive 12 miles, then I can go do that. Every delivery, yes, it does. You're correct. This is a contract market, Agent 86, absolutely. EBT is treading the line. Well, it is and it isn't, though. Yeah, it is. I think the issue with EBT is where the money for EBT is coming from. But really, it's no, you know, it's the idea. If it's coming from the customer, you know, that's you know when DoorDash defines what it is, but the idea is who's it coming from, and who is DoorDash taking the money for EBT from to pay that out. That's where you start. That's where a lawyer starts. That's where the whole system starts. Where are they getting the EBT money from? Because it's really easy. You could say, well, where are they getting the fee, the $2 fee? Well, that's okay. That's part of the delivery fee. It's part of the maintenance fee. It's part of whatever. But the EBT money, it's a totally different story because that's a clock that's running. So who's seeing that? Where is the offer to the customer? Where are they finding the extra money? How are they defining that to the customer? And the answer to that is we know where it's coming. It's coming from the tips on the earn by offer side. It's coming from the underpayment of base pay on the earn by offer side. And again, if you're trying to track out earn by offer and say, well, wait a minute, are you talking about them not filing policy? No, I'm talking about that policy doesn't exist. They don't pay out by that. I'm talking about taking every single earn by offer and determining what the earn by time would have been paid out on. And that didn't get paid. They got paid $2 instead. And then they got tipped $8. And they got tipped $9. And then you look at the average tip on the earn by time side, which is, from my experience, about $4. $3 to $4. Some are no tip, but $3 to $4. And there you're getting it. It's that extra amount, and it's sliding over. And if, like I said, if you look at earn by time and earn by offer side by side on a spreadsheet, as I have done, because that's what I do, you will see they look very, very, very similar. Very, very similar in pay. And I've said that. The tip on earn by offer is the base pay on earn by time, and vice versa most of the time. It's the orders where that isn't happening that the money's sliding around. It's the large order program. That's why you don't see many large, or at least from my experience, you don't see many large order programs unless they're really long distances over on the earn by time. You see them over on the earn by offer side because that's where the money's moving. And it's being moved fast. The calculations are being done. That's where the AI is being used because they're making those millisecond calculations at that time to say, okay, which one makes sense? A human could never do it and wouldn't be able to do it profitably. AI is. Now, at first, it doesn't because it takes time to learn. But over time, it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And that's where we're seeing that over time, it degrades a market. And over time, that's why Tony Hsiu confidently told his interviewer, who was really shocked that you could pay $15 an hour delivery driver plus tips. And he's like, that's not what's happening. You know, it's more than that. And the guy like wasn't getting it. But what he said, basically, it's going, and then he said, well, which one's better? I mean, half the year by time. No, he said it's going to be the same. Over time, it will work down to be the same. At first, it won't be. So I'll say that, and bam, you're going to have somebody else come out and say, well, I made this. Right. It's immature right now. The system is still learning that market. But give it 2 years, and you're not going to see much difference between the two. Or you're going to see, you might see, you know, it's going to be about the same. So on the ferry says on-demand income. That's what this, like I said, this is being geared towards. This is not geared. DoorDash has never once said, we're looking for the 40-hour gig worker. They don't want that. They don't want anything to do with that. They want the 4-hour gig worker. It's what they've championed in all their literature. It's what they say on their public speaking. It's what they say every time they sit down for an interview. It's their defense to everything. But the average gig worker is very happy 4 hours a week, working 4 hours a week, making on average of $25 an hour allegedly, which is $100 a week, working four active hours. And that's who they're going after. Well, of course we would, but professional drivers would, but I don't think the average everyday driver that's working 4 hours a week is going to care about it. They just want to go out and earn money. Or meaning they just want to know it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to go out, honey. I'm going out 5 to 8 today. Okay, see you later. And he goes out 5 to 8. And they come back and they go, wow, I made $60. That's cool, great. And they put it in their account. And it goes on their Dash or Direct, and they slide it over into their vacation savings. And then they go out another night that week and they make $50. They're not worrying about miles. They don't care. They're just worrying about like, all right, I made $50. I want to make 500 extra for my vacation. And they go out and do it, and they work like 8 days, and they make close to $500, and they're happy as a pie. And then they turn the app off, and they don't turn it on again until they need it. But yes, earn by my thing is, if you're driving full time, the only calculation that matters, it's not your time. Your time is something you personally care about because you don't want to be out here for 16 hours. It's your miles though. The only thing you should be worrying about is how much. Again, if you were doing this if you're breaking down your numbers as a smart delivery driver, you're looking at your vehicle as an asset and you go, how much can this vehicle get me realistically? All right, 300,000. How many am I going to drive? I'm going to drive 270,000 miles. Say you bought a new vehicle. All right, do I want to get $1 for every mile, or do I want to get $2 for every mile, or do I want to get $3 for every mile? I want to get as much out of those miles because I bought this car for something. I have an investment in this car. So I need to make as much as I can because I need to be buying my next car with every mile I drive. And I can only buy my next car, pay my bills, put fuel in the car, and make sure that I'm up on my maintenance that will be coming up sooner than normal by paying attention to my miles. It's only when you start paying attention to your time and 25 an hour or 30 an hour, Grubhub will pay you 25 an hour and you will work 85 cents a mile. 110%. It's when you pay attention to miles, it gets harder. And it gets harder to find orders, and it gets harder to work. So, of course, we go in and we sacrifice. How you doing, Presley 007? Good evening. Sitting here talking instead of working because there's not been anything. I guess I may have to consider turning DoorDash on to get this last $15 out of the way because it's definitely going to be a 150 day. So I think that's what we're going to do. And let's see what DoorDash has for us. So we'll go to 11. That's what I'll put in. Hour and a half. Can we make $15 in an hour and a half on DoorDash and maintain our acceptance rate? We're at 90. So we'll see what happens here. Because Spark right now is playing the opposite game. I'm at this place, and now they want to send me to the other Walmart. So here we come out, guys. $3, 3.6 miles. McDonald's. Let's see. Is the drive? Doesn't look bad over there. You know what? Let's get started. Rushbrook Drive. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do that. I know you guys might say $3 for 3 miles. Why the hell would you do that? You just said $2. Well, I did, but we're playing the DoorDash game right now. We're gonna get started. I'm at 90%, and I'm trying to make $15. So my goal is how fast can I make $15? I'm hoping, obviously, that I get done with this order. Maybe they stack me. Maybe I get another one. Maybe there's a Spark ready to go. I just cut into the 15 that I needed, though, with the $3. And if I can get in and out and get it down, it will do it. This is not one I normally like to take, but like I said, we're making other thoughts here on this besides the normal. All right, so we just got our $3, 3.6 mile run. Less than $1 a mile. Not a great start. But we're going to go pick up our caramel frappe and our Coke. I got a feeling this is a $2 base pay and a $1 tip. So with that, I'm not as mad at the customer. Rode the ride share, you're doing it full time? Well, like I said, it can be done. But you got to have multiple hours. All right, I'll be back, guys.
Mindy Askin, or one other.
All right, guys. So we got that order. We're at McDonald's, Marty. Only work DoorDash on hourly. And that's me about $20 an hour. 10 hours gets me 200. Yep, exactly right. I don't doubt that. Because mine pays sometimes somewhere between 16 and 20 bucks an hour whenever you're doing it. All right, hold on. So, all right, here we go, guys. We're on our way now to this drop off. We've been getting a little bit of spark action, but nothing doable, all still from that other Walmart. So I thought I had the directions pulled up. Apparently not. Start. There we go. So we got an 8-minute drive. So this is definitely not going to be a good miles to money. This is not going to be a good time order. This was simply a hold my nose and not take a hit on the acceptance rate, knock $3 off towards my goal of $15, and get us one step closer to that, in hopes that maybe something breaks on the Spark side, the Uber side, the Grubhub side, something that we can do to move towards the minimum goal now that we're trying for, and I'm trying for, is 150 today, given that it's already 9:30. Not staying out exceptionally late for this. Discover got banned with a perfect rate for dropping service. Oh yeah, Instacart will do that. They were threatening to drop me at one point because I dropped orders because I was multi-apping, and I would pick up an order and then I'd be on my way there and I wouldn't turn off my other apps, and then I'd get something that was just better. And it's hard sometimes when you're on a shitty Instacart or something that maybe you know isn't going to do very well, and you're looking at a $25 Spark Shop, or a $10 3-mile Uber or DoorDash, and you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. You've been on a Grubhub waitlist for years. Yeah, Grubhub has been waitlisted forever in my area. I was just lucky. I literally just, I don't even know if I was lucky. I was strategic. I went and just signed up for all the apps. I mean, when I first decided to do this, I said, I got to sign up for all of them. I didn't get on all of them. It was literally like, I got on DoorDash first, and then it was like a month later I got on, Uber I'd already been on, but I wasn't signed up for rides. I didn't even know it, but I had been signed up for Uber Eats for quite some time. So I already had Uber in the pocket without even knowing. They said I signed up in 2016. I didn't even know that. And then I signed up for Grubhub and got right in. And then signed up for Instacart, got right in. Then Spark, I had a small wait for that. And then one day I kept checking, and one day I was in on that. And then I got on Amazon Flex right away. I'm on all of them, Marty. I'm doing all of them. I mean, I do Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Amazon Flex, Spark, all of them. But I believe, I've been flirting between the two. I believe that if you want steady earnings, but you don't mind driving the miles, and you're just going to put your head in the sand and not worry about the miles and just let it work out, I believe you drive somewhere between $1 and $1.50 a mile on some days. There will be some days you might go lower than that. I've experienced it. But you're gonna get steady earnings. You can get some steady earnings, but you're gonna work like the individual that was in the chat saying 10 hours, $200. That's what it's gonna be. Amazon Flex, trust me delivery. I haven't done any Amazon Flex this month. I've had a couple of offers. It's all been like at 3 in the morning. I've been flirting with the idea because they were pretty good. There was like $110 for 3 hours from 3:15 to 6:15. I haven't seen that one pop up. I'm anticipating it's going to get bigger because, remember, we're getting ready to come on the Prime days. So I'm just going to be keeping my eye on the schedule with Amazon Flex, and if I see something that I like, it's worth my time, I will jump all over it. And I'll take you guys along with me for as much of it as I can. Amazon Flex certainly loves to take you out in bad cell phone reception areas in this area. That is one of my biggest. Amazon Flex is super easy as long as I'm in a good area where my cell phone works. But they've done better. They've got an offline mode now. But it can really get frustrating out there if you're not able to do it. I've had that happen a couple times, or not find a delivery because they take you out there and the mapping's bad. Oh, I think I think it will. Normally it does. People start ordering and they'll start giving drivers routes to get them ready and queued up because they want them ready to go. And I don't do a whole lot of flex. Flex is not my deal. That it feels too much like a job to me because it's like I have to agree to 3 or 4 hours, and then I'm stuck and I got all these packages in my car. But it's good. It can pay. It pays okay. But the miles to money is my other issue. Is a lot of times, they pay you $110, and then they're sometimes send me with a $30 commute or 30-mile commute in one way and back out the other way, unless I can DoorDash in. And the miles to money can be quite terrible, at least in this area, if you're tracking it. And I will track it because I'll start my miles right from wherever I'm at to driving, wherever I begin my drive to the warehouse, check in, and then all the way to the last stop. Yeah, DoorDash is pretty quick to get on. It's the one that's easiest. You get waitlisted for a minute sometimes on DoorDash, but the waitlist seems to clear up fast because it seems to be that DoorDash, I think, and this was Dashing with John. He apparently has done some research into it, and apparently the DoorDash's waitlist is based on the fulfillment of orders in an area. So if the fulfillment rate drops below 90%, they will open up the area and they will start bringing people in off the wait list, more or less, to try to get order fulfillment up by getting the new drivers in. Then those drivers are stuck in there. So his theory was that certain areas oversaturation is due to the declining orders a lot. That was just I think a theory that he had. All right, we're down. Down or up? I hope we're going down. I really do. I hope it's not going up because I think I probably passed it. And I can't forget seeing it, of course. I think it's going down. Is it going down? No, it's going up. Okay, great. So I think we passed it. Yeah, we did. All right, so we're just going to hang a turn in the road here. Yeah, because we're in the fence now. All right, this is a housing development, guys. So it's not like I'm out here in the middle of the road just swinging turns around. That's not typically normal, but it was better than doing the circle around that they wanted because I think the drop-off is like over here. I passed it. So I'm sure that customer's going to probably ding me. What they do. They expect perfect driving. And this is a $3 order, so probably they'd be like, my frappe's getting hot or whatever the hell. Alright, so now I gotta figure out my bad eyes. I hate going at it at night because I think this is it. Is that it? That is it. Thank you. They had their light on. Thank you, customer. Very nice. All right, let's go get this back. right, guys, I was right. $2 base pay, $1 tip, so can't be mad at the customer. I mean, I think, in my opinion, I think $5, as you guys know, is my well-established amount that I think is a reasonable tip any delivery should be. I took UDM's advice back in 2020 and signed up for all the apps. Good on the ferries, good. Oh, they said thank you. Appreciate you, customer. Absolutely. But, you know, listen, on an order like this, $1, I understand. Like, I'm glad they got their order delivered because they don't understand. You know, the apps aren't going to pay well for an order like this. But this should be segregated on the Earn by Time platform. That's where it belongs. It shouldn't have been offered to me. That's my opinion. But I mean, obviously, DoorDash said, "Hey, you're getting it," and it was a very poor time reflection here. $10 an hour, guys. That's what we earned. So now that puts us at, for the day, again, we were going for 200, but the nature of the day, the way it went, the different various things we had to do, we didn't get a chance to work steady through. So we were working in parts. So we made 137 so far. My goal was to get to 150 today. So we are going to shoot for that and see if we can do it. So let's just check out what we got for DoorDash. I was hoping they might have something for us right away. This is where it gets destructive. You know, it's like, if you're going to send me a $3 order, you've got to have something for me ready to go. You know, you can't leave me, you can't pause me for 30 minutes after a $3 order. You just can't. You got to let me eat, man. Now, Spark, I could go get it made if I wanted to go do this 4-mile, $15 offer, but it's across town. But I've kind of moved down a little bit, but not down far enough. There's another one that's 8.2 miles for $17.79. Obviously, the 15 is the better offer because it's, you know, half the miles. But you know, it's tempting to just do that, and then I have my money in, and I go drive up, I pull in, I get the order in the car, off to the customer I go, and my night's over. Or do I stay up here, play the tug of war game, and, you know, do I get a good order? Do I get another $3 order? What are they going to do? So next step is, where does DoorDash say it's busy? Is it my McDonald's or is it the... Nope. Oh no, they're saying my McDonald's is busy. Alright, so we can go back to where we came from and stay within the vicinity of my home. And maybe we get that Spark shop that I'm looking for. Because what I'm really looking for right now is Spark does late night shops. So it's 9:45. We could still get something from the Walmart up here by my house. And that's what I'd like to see happen. And it's still possible they could do, although curbsides are done. I don't see curbsides really be. That's the other issue too right now, is I really couldn't take these curbsides because by the time I would get to that Walmart, it would already be probably done. They would send me away. They'd tell me there wasn't anything anymore, and I'd get the whatever support was going to pay me for showing up, like $2 or something. So it's definitely not worth the drive out there. Now, does that mean Uber wouldn't see me out there? That there wouldn't be Uber opportunities out there? Of course. But I'm going to head up here. We're going to see what the opportunities are. We're still a 90% driver right now. We're a platinum level driver. So that means there should be some work, I would hope. We are getting priority because the priority doesn't exist on Earn by Time. So remember that, guys. You know, if you're on Earn by Time, you're grouped in with everybody else. So again, this is why I say, like, taking away the way it's paid and funded. Earn by Time is like the most authentic version on the DoorDash app of what we want. There is no designation between drivers. There is no priority. You simply get offered orders. You get paid a set amount of money. You're getting paid decent base pay. A hell of a lot better base pay than 2 bucks. But the thing you're giving up is you have to give up your big tips. But they're saying, but they're promising you steady earnings, and you're going to get steady work, and you're going to be driving, and you're going to be working. And I know, because right now I'm sure if I'd have turned on Earn My Time, they would have given me, I would have had my $15, 110%, and it would have been given to me over the course of the hour. It would have probably been maybe 18 or 19 bucks, but I would have had it. Or right now, I'm out here gambling. So I've made 3. I don't know what the next offer is that's coming my way. I don't even know if it'll be if DoorDash will be the one I take. I could end up getting an offer from Uber right now. Uber can pop some in. Grubhub will pop them in. We're in the range right now still for Instacart. Although actually Instacart was turned off. So here we are. Shopify, I just saw that pop for stuff. So Shopify, I think I'm on. What is Shopify? Shopify, like secret shopping, or do they do? Because I think I might have signed up for. I signed up for for a whole bunch of crap at one point, which I really don't do much with. Some of them were like secret shopping apps, and I was getting stuff. But I mean, it's literally the most nickel and dime apps ever. Like we're talking $3 to go take a picture over here, $5 to go take. So I thought, well, maybe these could be things I would integrate in as I'm driving somewhere or going and doing this, or get done with an offer and I'm in a spot that I could go take a picture somewhere. But I've never really done much with it. All right, so I lost the chat. I thought I did. All right, so let's see here. Shopify is another app. $2, 1 gallon of gas, or $5. I got spoiled with the payouts back in 20. Yeah, well, everybody did. Again, remember, 2020 was representative of the early parts of these apps. I mean, these apps are still very young. They are not matured yet. That's exactly right. When everyone has priority, there is no priority. Cherry picking LOP with par. Those were the days. Yep. Oh, I guarantee they were. The last year and a half just doesn't seem worth it to me to dedicate much more time to the apps. Well, you got to dedicate your time to all the apps, and you got to look, it's going to, essentially it's going to require you to work longer hours. I mean, that's it. You can do shorter hours, you can do spots. It's how much you need to make. And that's kind of what you got to do as an independent, somebody who's wanting to be independent of the traditional employment avenues. You're responsible for figuring that out, and it's not always a comfortable place to be. So it might require you to pick up a W-2. It might require you to do things that you don't want to do. All right, so I guess it's dead in my area. Let's check the ratings real quick. Let's see what's up. Nothing bad's popping in there. That's good. All right. Calling DoorDash for my money. What's going on with your money, Ari? Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think in a way it is more preferable. It's just a question of, will there be an ability for you to earn the money you need? All right, so it looks like they're still at it, trying to get me to take this crappy ass curbsides. Nothing on Instacart. It's just crazy to me that there's nothing going on out here. Oh, Grubhub. All right, here we go. Come on, Grubhub. Give me something. So if I want to drive 925 right now, they will let me pick up at this Dairy Queen. I would have to drive all the way to Inwood, which is where I was at for the challenge the other day. It's 16 and a half miles. Nope, nope, nope. So what do you make? How much? So you said okay, 7. So it's about 70 hours a week, 4,000 to 6,000. That's not. I mean, hey, you know what? You're getting it done. Yeah, that's too far. God darn, man. Come on, Grubhub. That's what Grubhub does anymore. It's garbage. And Pot, you are on, or Potato, whatever your name. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Pot 4254 check. Um, you do earn by time, is that right? You were the one that told me that. I need to go back and see because that's very interesting information. Yep. Thank you very much, Pot. I'm reading back through some of your stuff because I was going through because I wanted to see. You're in Des Moines, Iowa. I sparked you. I used to do Instacart. I got banned with a perfect rating. I've been on Grubhub waitlist for a year. I only work on DoorDash hourly. That's me average 20 an hour. 10 hours gets me 200, pays my bills. The base pay is so bad on DoorDash that I refuse to not work hourly. I agree with you, man. Hey, you know what? I've thought that was the way to do it. Potato sack. Okay, that's what it says. All right, I got you. Well, honestly, potato sack, you've got the best of the world right there. I mean, in terms of they complement each other very nicely. But I'll tell you what, right now, I'm on earn by offer, and I've got, obviously a 90% acceptance rate. I've got, all the stats, and there's nothing coming to my phone. So we're going to just have to turn it off and turn it back on because that's unacceptable. $3. Yeah, it's not red. It's gray. See, gray area. And now there's only one mode of work available. That would be earn by offer. So they're not allowing me to get on earn by time. That's fine. Now it says 1 to 4 minutes up here by this McDonald's. Well, I've been sitting up here for longer than 1 to 4 minutes, and it did not say that before. It actually was saying 3 to 12 minutes. So that's kind of funny. And now we got surge offers from Spark. Are they going to give me a shop or anything up here? Nope, I don't think so. Spark is dead for the evening, I think. It is what. That's fine. Yeah, I don't blame you on nefarious. Like I said, I'm fretting what's going to come to my phone by DoorDash whenever they decide to send it to me. And now it says 1 to 4. It went from 1 to 3 to 1 to 4. Since I just freshly walked into the algorithm, I figure they're going to send me something. It may not be what I like. I'm hoping, like I said, I just need to make, at this point, I need $12.74. You wouldn't think it would take this long to make. Oh, the customer came. Really? Wow. Oh, okay. I got you. All right, let's end the dash thing. Oh, now it's back. Earn by time is locked. But let's force stop, clear cache, reopen. Still locked. All right. Well, I'm only putting in that I'm going to work an hour, so I don't know if that's making a difference as well. I bet you did, Ari. How much was the order for? Oh, $6.52. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, right now, yeah, it's locked right now. I mean, I figure it's it's always locked in this area because listen, my offer in this area is not good. It's not good. It's too much driving. If I'm in this area, I mean, I don't mind driving. Like I like the area because it's rural, it's safe, it's good people. You're not really too worried about. Not really too many bad pockets of anywhere besides just maybe like dirt roads and places you don't want to go to at night if you can't see the road because you could, hurt your tire or damage your car. But you're not worried necessarily about getting stuck up or robbed or anything like that. Oh, here we go. $5 for 3.1 miles. All right, where are we going to? Okay, I know where we're going. I know where this comes from. It's a McDonald's order. So there we go. Maybe we'll get stacked. They're ordering a 20-piece chicken McNugget and 2 medium fries. And they're still popping off on Spark about, yep, those 2 offers, which are impossible for me to do because I couldn't even make it to the store in time to get them done. So Sparkle, those will be the first offers in the morning that'll get done at that store. And they will come out, either that or they're dead offers that are circulating. So it's literally 3 minutes before the lobby closes at this McDonald's. I wonder if they will let me in. A lot of times they close it to keep us out. We will find out. Because then this offer really gets shitty. It could be $5 for a wait in the drive-thru. I hope they let me in. Let me go see. I'll be back, guys. Yeah, lobby is about to close. All right, guys. So I got in there, and then, of course, they're closing. They're ignoring me. There's like one person that speaks English in the entire place. I don't know what's going on with that. That's like Wendy's is doing that. Now I guess it's seeping into here. So everybody was just kind of looking at me, talking in Spanish around me, and then eventually the one lady that was, I guess, working, she come up and said, "Are you door dashing?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, okay." And my order was sitting there. I was trying to get people's attention. But they had thought they locked the door, I think. I literally snuck in right as they were about to lock the door. So, the one day I got in because a little kid, they saw me walking up, and I tugged on the door. It was locked. I started walking away. This little kid, I guess he had gone in there because his parents were in there. He said, "Oh, I'll let you in." I got in, and they were so mad. They're like, "Who let the DoorDash driver?" And I'm like, well, that would be that nice little child there who had sympathy for me and didn't know better, I guess. I'm like, what's the big deal, man? I just, why sit through your drive-thru? Now you can just get my order ready. When it's ready, hand it to me. I mean, I think DoorDash drivers should be allowed to come in and out of the range, or they should have a window set up. I mean, some of these McDonald's I have in my market have windows where you can, at least they were used during the pandemic, and I don't know why they don't use them now. Like, that's what it should be. It should be just a DoorDash window and just have one employee stand there all night, and when they come up, knock on the window. Who you here for? Okay, it'll be just a moment. And then that way the DoorDash drivers can kind of be on one side and the drive-thru can be on another. But I mean, it's the same difference as a drive-thru. Yeah, I know. That's what they literally said, that they were mad. And I heard it, and I was like, really? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not coming in here, flying in here with my phone. I just keep to myself. I'm putting in some numbers. I'll check on you guys if I have a stream running. It's like, damn. And they ran over there and checked the door. It's locked. And I'm like, somebody let me in. Like, clearly. The one guy's like, I don't know, I locked the door. I don't know who let him in. Like I said, it helped. To me, it helped clear out some of the, keep me out of the drive-thru. But this will put us now from 137 to 142. So now we go from needing like 12 to 8 and some 7 and some change. So we're clearing that territory, but now we are in drive-thru territory now, which is always fun. We get to go sit in the drive-thru. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road for me. This is where at night, if I work nights, I like to do earn by time. That's what I prefer. Because I feel like you're getting a better value for your time when you're sitting in a drive-thru and you get this $2 tip, and they set you up with the $2 tip, and you're sitting there making your base pay. And then especially if peak pay kicks in, now you're making $17 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, depending on the amount of peak pay. Because for every dollar they give on the earn by offer side, they give $2 on the earn by time side. So clearly they're trying to get the drivers to go earn by time. I mean, that's what I see at least. I see. Oh, yep, I see that. All right. Yep. I agree with you. I mean, I think restaurants could do more to be more efficient. To do this stuff, but like I said, I think it's going to be workers there that are going to have their jobs. I think what's going to happen is the real threat is that you're going to see more and more front-facing, public-facing jobs, like a fast food individual who's simply bagging food and maybe not doing such a great job, or being rude to customers, or being overwhelmed, or not getting the food out as quick as possible. Those are the jobs that are going to go. It's going to automate. You're going to put your order in, you can walk in, put your order in, or you can order on DoorDash. A driver will still arrive. A driver will go in, and there'll be a queue, and there'll be a window. We'll pick the order up, we'll put it in our car, and we'll go. The threat will be the amount of drivers wanting to do this. And then if you do have DoorDash truly doing what Dasher and what John said, which is, oh, order fulfillment is down below a certain level, that's cool. We're just put 200 more drivers into the market. Let's see if order fulfillment goes up. Oh, it does. When it drops again, meaning you're not getting good engagement with drivers, or certain drivers are tired of driving for the low wages, they just simply open it up even more. And then you're going to see more drivers coming over because they're going to be getting replaced. So this will be the repository for drivers replaced, or for employees replaced by AI. We will not be replaced by AI. They will just simply run out our cars, run out our assets, run us down, and put us against each other, and we'll be out here. For some, it'll work, and for others, it's going to always work for the apps. Like the Potato Sack was saying earlier. Listen, he's got it working for him. He's on the earn by ton. My theory was a while back, that week, when I did all earn by time, I could have made $1,000 that week. It was just a matter, I only worked 5 days. I didn't work any weekend. So I believe DoorDash likes the idea of earn by time. It's hit accept. Work as much as you can, accept every order, and you're going to get, for every hour you're out, you're going to earn something. They're not worrying about miles to money or any of those calculations. It doesn't matter if that makes sense or that is happening. They don't want drivers thinking like that. They just want drivers. I think this is where turn around here. Ooh, that's a wolf out there. It's a wolf dog. I believe it's going to be this house right here. But I'm not, so I hope I'm right. It's a hand it to me. So we're going to find out. All right. right, guys. All right, so that was a great one. We ended up going to the wrong house at first. The one that had its light on was not the one that was my order. Of course, I couldn't see they had something over their number on their front door. And the one down didn't have its light on. So I was looking, and of course, across the street was a number similar but even to it. So that's why in the what do you want to call it? Ping in DoorDash or in the Google Maps dropped me right here. So of course I go to that guy. Now it was handed to me, so I knock on the door. And customer, or I guess it wasn't my customer, but the guy comes to the door, and I said, I asked him, I said, hey, I'm looking for 301. And said the name, but y'all don't know the actual address, so it's all good. Anyways, so I'm looking for a customer, and he said, this ain't it. He showed me he lifts up his thing and says, shows me what his address is, and said, it ain't it. I said, you know where it is? I said, I'm thinking it's either, which direction it goes. And he's like, I'm not even sure. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you for your help. I'll find it. I think it's down here. Sure enough, that customer decides, yeah, now it's time to turn on the light, and she kind of comes out like she's all pissed off, like, and I said, yeah, I was looking for you. I was out there looking around. I said, thank you for turning on. There it is. I said her number, and she said, then I heard her go in to whoever's inside and say, yeah, he went to such and such, the number of the house I was at. And I thought, okay, well, here we go. You're going to sit here and complain when you turn your light on as I'm walking up because you realize I'm at a different place. Wouldn't it have made sense that you would turn your light on when you're living in a place that is darkened without any street lights? Wouldn't that make sense that you would want to ensure that the driver can find you so that they're not out here delivering to the wrong place or going to the wrong spot? Wouldn't that be common sense? Common sense is not always what strikes. And then you're going to get mad at me over it? When I was doing the best I could with the conditions, and your neighbor has their number blocked on their door, so I just was like, well, I'm going to go up and knock because this is where Google Maps pegged me to go. And I guess I should have went maybe down and looked, but I'm thinking, no, this makes sense, it would be it. And there was a digit that looked like one of the digits showing at the bottom, so I thought this has to be it, the first two numbers, and then that one. And it turned out they were blocking the part that made it look like that number. Anyways, what a mess. This is why I don't like the dash at night very much, because my eyes suck. And normally if I'm dashing at night, I like to bring a cohort with me to help read stuff to me or see things. Although my son and I, we've gone out before dashing at night, and he swore to me he had the right address, and we still ended up at the wrong spot. So yeah. So again, that puts us within striking distance. We're at 142.26. Yeah, I probably need to adopt that. I mean, we have enough daylight, but today, like I said, I just had a goal to get to 150, and I thought, well, for the stream, for doing it, we're gonna see how quick we can make $15, and we're gonna assess that. And let me tell you, it ain't been fast. We've been streaming now for 2 hours, and now, in all fairness, I think the first 40 minutes of it was making $35, $33 on Spark. But then we needed to make another $15. So as of right now, in this 2 hour period, we have made $43. So we're over $20 an hour for the stream. But damn, man, I didn't think it would really be this hard to make 15 bucks. Yeah, I got you. You're usually 9 a.m. until 7 or 8. Yeah, and really, honestly, if you can get started, like when I got started early, the mornings I've got, the days I've gotten started early at around 8 or 9, I have no problem making 200 by 7 or 8 o'clock, if not before. And then if I have Spark on, I can always make $200 from 8 to 6. Maybe needing to go to 7. I've never needed to go that too much longer. The problem is, a lot of days, due to things going on with my kids, babysitting, etc., I don't get started till 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then it's like you've lost that. Because Spark you can make an easy 50 or 60 bucks on Spark in the first couple of hours. If they're running, some mornings they run an incentive, and you can easily make, sometimes you make over $100 really quick. Then it'll slow down, and then it'll ramp back up around lunchtime on the food delivery apps, although some lunches are shit, around here especially, if I decide to work the Martinsburg market, because there just isn't enough people in town to support it, unless it's a weekend day. And then you've got another fall off. You can maybe get some shops or curbsides. Well, I'm blessed with actually 2 very good Walmarts. But I'll tell you, potato stack, consider lowering those stats, those take points just a little bit, and you might be shocked, because some of these Spark places are pretty efficient. I mean, here's the thing: what I do when I go on Spark, I'll go in, and then after a certain period of time, I'm turning an app on to get bid off of it. And now I know you're only doing DoorDash and Spark, so you're not, but I'll turn on all the apps, including Instacart. And both my Walmarts are smack dab in the middle, especially if it's during the afternoon or dinner time. And I'll start getting offers, and I'll go ahead and just say, you know what, boom, I like that offer. You just bought me off. I will, Agent 86. Yeah, I don't ever do Sam's Club, to be honest with you. Sam's Clubs are never happening. I don't do the online orders like where you're picking up 17, 18 little small orders. Never do that. I do curbside groceries. And like I said, today it was humming. If I'd have gotten started earlier, this would have been, I would have easily, I believe, had 200 bucks. No problem whatsoever. I just got started way too late. And I was limited to, because I could only take singles. But the singles were so good today that, it was really good. It was really good. And then I got my triple stack that I did for $33 that we started the stream. But, all right. So now it's just like, come on. The drive-thru over there, what are we doing here? McDonald's, come on. My kids ate dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I need to eat. I ate Chipotle for lunch with my son. My wife, I know, is already home. I'm pretty certain. I think I missed her call. I saw that in here. I need to call her back. Oh, she called me 56 minutes ago. Oh, here we go. $7 Taco Bell. I like this order. This is a good one. This is going up to the next exit. But guess what? Guess what, good people? It's going to put me at $149.26. So I'm going to have to take one more DoorDash order. Unless they stack me. Which I don't think is going to happen. Or, oh wow, 27 items. Oh, okay. 7 avocado verde sauce packets. 15 hot sauce packets. 2 steak quesadillas. 1 large nacho fry. 1 cheesy fiesta potatoes, and 1 steak quesadilla. Boy, I mean, I've been enjoying the Cantina chicken tacos, but I'll tell you what, the other night, man, I had a batch of them, and boy, it upset my stomach. I have sworn them off now for a while. I said, I don't know what they made them with or what was up, but boy, it was just toxic. So, All right, let's arrive at the store. Who are we picking up for? All right, there it is. I'm actually picking up for DoorDash for Derek B. Cool, awesome, thank you. All right, guys, we're back up. I don't know if, hopefully we're still here. I hope my chat's still online because it was spinning for a little bit. I may have to re-up it if it's not. I don't see some chat activity. And I'll check on my iPhone too. So if you're out there, somebody put something in the chat right now. If you're out there, if you're listening. I'm going to check my iPhone. Okay, hey, there it is. Shane Epley. What's up, Shane? Good deal. You just helped me out. Now I know my chat's working. Appreciate you. So we're at Taco Bell doing a $7 order. I needed $7 and like some change, and I got a $7 order instead of no change. So now we're stuck doing at least one more order because my goal is to hit 150 today, and I pledged to make $15, and that's what we're working on. So here we sit, stuck at grinding it out, unless something miraculous happens and we get stacked. But we're getting our DoorDash reps in for today, because we've been sparking most of the time. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take you guys.
You're here for Derek, right?
Derek, yep.
Okay, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Just pull around in like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No, yeah. Wow, guys, we're getting the full nighttime experience on DoorDash. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but we've been asked to do the ride around of doom. That only Taco Bell asks you. They either hold you up or in the drive-through line and make you sit there, or they ask you to ride around and check back in a couple of minutes. So I got the 2 minutes. Yeah, that's exactly right. I know. I think I've exceeded my 4 dashes a day. I should have just stopped. But I'm doing this more for the stream than anything, because I was like, you know what, let's just see how long it takes us to make $15 after the Spark order. And we're on now a 2-hour stream. We're showing exactly how to degrade your earnings and how the gig economy will grind away at a really good order, which was the $33 order we started. And then you're trying to make 15 more bucks, and then they just take a big deep crap on you. Oh, here we go. 750 plus going to the same thing. So all right, I take it all back, guys. I take it all back. 750. It says 4.7 miles, but it's showing the house right next door. So, hell yes, guys. We have just literally saved the day. Yes. Finally, it happened the way I wanted it to once. Damn right. This calls for a celebration. I mean, it's not great. It's like 10.4 miles. I don't know how they're getting it. I think there's something wrong with that calculation, because the map, I'll find out when I'm looking at this a little deeper. But so the ride around of doom gave me the opportunity to get stacked, and now we're good. This is it. This is officially the last order. Now we just got to go over to Wendy's, right across the bridge, get in their drive-through line, get that, and we're coming in over the $15. So that's special. That's awesome. All right. So here we are. All right. And that's it. We will go ahead and reserve our pause after delivery. And that's it, because I'm done. Order still being prepared. There we go. All right, so let's go back around. Let's see if it's ready right now. Mission accomplished. Just as I was about ready to go off on the app, talk about how crappy it is, DoorDash shows me a little bit of love and a little bit of accommodation by hitting me up with that $7.50 stack. Boom, $14.50, guys. So we're in $14.50 on this order now. So that is a good thing. All right, let's pull back around and see if this thing is ready.
There it is.
Awesome.
Good night.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys, so we were actually ready. This is how I normally do my nighttime runs, because most of the time at night, you're not getting like super huge. So I just keep my 2 Grubhub coolers normally on my seat when I'm out doing night stuff. Now, a lot of times and I'm talking about like, there's been periods of time I've actually gone out like 7 to 3 in the morning and worked. And that's what I'm talking about. That's how I'll work it when it gets to drive-through time, because I don't want to have to keep getting out of my car like you guys have seen me do when I'm doing the last few orders. Now, I was ready for this because I had put these on here for the Spark orders earlier, so I had the bags up here, but this is normally what I would do. And then that way, now, obviously when we get to Wendy's, if there's drinks, it can complicate things a little bit. So I'll make adjustments as I need to, but this nice Grubhub thing, I can hold the drinks in there because I can put the drinks on the side, put the food in the middle, zip it up, and we're on the way. I sometimes hate to have the hot food in with the cold drinks because I think it kind of counteracts the stuff, but it just depends. That's exactly right on the Farius. You got to really, DoorDash will take advantage of you if you let it. You gotta stare DoorDash down inside its little app eyes and say, listen, you're not taking advantage of me. I'm taking advantage of you. Give me the order I need, or I'm turning you off. And boom, it'll happen. Or, like I said, most of the time it's time. It's just, time can be, that's why streaming while I'm dashing, if I don't have someone in the car with me, like today when I was dashing around with my son and my 4-year-old, we're all, he's DJing, he's telling me about the beach and his trip and everything. So that passes time. So even when you're sitting there, it ain't bad. And then we were ordering a lunch at one point when we had a little bit of a wait, and then, there's bathroom breaks in between, and we're I probably spent a little too much money on the road today with snacks and stuff. That's kind of how we do it than I normally would if I was on with my own self. But then if I'm alone, streaming is nice because you have the stream to talk to, and it kind of keeps things going and doesn't make you feel like you're just sitting there aimlessly, waiting and waiting and waiting, because a minute can feel like an hour when you're sitting in the car.
What's the DoorDash name for?
Brandy C.
Brandy C. Alright, go on, pull around.
Thank you. So good news, there's no drinks on this one, guys. Yes, there is. Appreciate it. Thank you. What's going on, Slytherin? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. We're doing our final order of the evening right now. Things are finally working out for us. All right, so we're going to, the first one is the Taco Bell order. All right, excellent. I think, right? Wait a minute. Hold on. Make sure. I don't want that type of mistake. Yeah, it's the Taco Bell order. All right, good. I got that right. All right, so here we go. 11-minute ride to the first customer. So let's just see if I was correct and and DoorDash had this wrong. Yeah, final order $14.50. Ari Mac. It's it started out as a $7 Taco Bell going 6 miles. I was upset because it was shortchanging me a few cents. We got the Taco Bell. We had to wait. They asked me to do the drive around of doom. I drove around. I parked in a parking spot. I sat for a minute, and I'm sitting in the parking spot, and bam, $7.50 plus for an extra 4 miles comes up. Although it appears, based on the map, it's very close in proximity to each other, so I'm not really certain if we're going an extra 4 miles or not. I mean, I know there was a little extra time over here over the bridge to get the Wendy's, but hardly 4 miles. So I think they were a little aggressive on their mileage. Sometimes that happens up there. I don't know what happens exactly, but so now we are heading down to do these final 2 drop-offs, and that will put us at, I guess, we're at what, 142 right now and some change, so this will put us at $14. Yep. Oh, does it? All right. Yep, well, DoorDash, of course, I told DoorDash I was only working till 11, so I think it knew it was going to be my last order as well, so maybe it's just something. DoorDash just knows it's the end, and they go, okay, here it is. So we definitely got enough dashes in for our platinum. We lost a little on the acceptance rate. We're at 90%. But of course, what you lose, you gain, because we're certainly going to get closer to the next few points that we can get back on our acceptance rate. We made over $150, which falls in my $150 to $250 a day that I want to make. So we hit the low end of that. So overall, successful day. Majority of what we made our money on was Spark. I anticipate that will be what will happen tomorrow too, because I mean, I'm going to have Spark on, and I'm going to be giving Spark the opportunity if they want to give me the opportunity. If not, we're due. Today, I was locked out of Earn by Time. So I did not have the, I mean, every time I went in, so it locks up a lot. So, we'll see what happens. My dash closed at 7:30 every day. Oh, okay, I got you. Is that when your market closes, or is that just when you're scheduled to? All right, I know you can't dash anytime. Right now, I'm enjoying the ability to dash anytime. I don't expect to give that up. Like I said, when I get to 75%, there isn't a dash by offer anymore. Or if there is dash by offer, it's every single offer. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to do only Earn by Time. Schedule, I got you. And I'm getting closer to my mindset to where it's like the Earn by Time in this market, a lot at least, in their other markets may be different, but in this market, the DoorDash has successfully closed the gap. There is not a whole lot of benefit to earning by offer in this market anymore. It just doesn't. The weight in the way they offset it is you might make a big order, but then they make you wait in between orders, and then the wait brings it close. Now, you do have a bit more control over miles, but I feel like, and that's my thing. If I'm trying to Spark, I want to avoid those 10, 11 mile journeys where I'm going away from the Walmart area I want to be in. So, but I think what I'm going to have to do is, if I do get down to 75 and I get caught at 75%, I'm just going to basically be like, okay, DoorDash, I'm going to DoorDash for 2 hours today, and then after that, it's Spark, Uber, and Grubhub, and Instacart, and Shipt the rest of the day. Unless it's like high time, dinner time, or something like that. Then I might take a shot or two on it and just say, well, I'll have to either worry-free cancel it or, take it and eat it. But not literally, no, yeah, not literally eat the food. I'm sorry, you're right. Sorry, let me clarify that statement. That's a bad statement for a food delivery driver to make. No, I'm not talking about eating in order. I'm talking about eating the bad money and just taking the 3 for $11 or whatever the hell it is. If I, either waiting it out or I just go, okay, fine, I'll drive it. Although if any circumstance came up where it was 3 for $11, I would either just take the completion rate hit or do the worry free. We're not, unless I was in some sort of a challenge or something. But we're not in challenge mode anymore. And I was talking with Dash and with John when we did our little dash off, and I was like telling him about it, and he agreed. He said he's on T-Mobile, which was my personal device. I only have one device on T-Mobile, and I use it as a hotspot. It's my personal iPhone. And he was saying, man, T-Mobile, he had no problems except for like one small spot. And I was like, yeah, AT&T sucks. So I'm thinking if I do decide to reinstate my 100% challenge. And the funny part was, when I first started it out, the first couple days, I wasn't filming, and I was on my iPhone. And then I went back to my Androids, which were on AT&T, because I prefer using my Z Fold and stuff for just different things. And I said, well, you know what, maybe if I go back and decide to do a 100% challenge again to try to get there just for bragging rights, before, then I might go all T-Mobile and just say, you know what, I'm going T-Mobile. I'm just going to use my iPhone and lay down the Android, and maybe if I'm doing like other apps like Spark and stuff that don't matter, I can have those run on my Z Fold. You said is better than your it's working out better. Yeah, T-Mobile, listen, be honest with you, okay? When I first started gig work, T-Mobile was separated from, T-Mobile was its own entity, Sprint was its own entity. And I was trying to use, I was on T-Mobile personally. I didn't have any, I had come to T-Mobile and been using it for years. But I never really was using it more than just to make some phone calls and do my regular stuff. So it wasn't something I was really noticing. Hey, it's bad, it's good. It got me what I needed. But then when I started doing gig work, T-Mobile was terrible in my area. Terrible. And then in my first ever Z Fold, I got a Z Fold 3. I got it on T-Mobile. And it was god awful. And I didn't know if it was the Z Fold that was god awful or if it was T-Mobile, but I couldn't get offered. I couldn't get serviced anywhere, and it was just abysmal. So I had gotten into AT&T, and I got another iPhone on AT&T, and I was using iPhone for a while, and I kind of shelved my Z Fold. And you see some of my early videos where I'm saying Android versus iPhone, and I'm all like, iPhone's the best, Android's got some things to it, but it's just not. And I think it was really the T-Mobile experience. Fast forward, I go all in on AT&T because it was better than T-Mobile at the time. It got me around. It wasn't perfect. It certainly isn't perfect now. Now AT&T has started to get to a point where it's just terrible in this area. And T-Mobile bought out Sprint, did the merge, and now I was told by everybody Sprint was the one in this area that was really good. And now T-Mobile is excellent in this area. I'm getting service at my exit. Like my exit right now where we're at, part of maybe some of the slowness could have very well been my cell phone. So I have to hotspot in. Yeah, it's a creepy hour. It definitely is. It's dark up here. It's got that creepy, that little, that dark street. That street light. I'm gonna turn you guys inward in a minute. But now it's got me thinking, oh my God, I'm all invested in all my delivery devices on AT&T because I thought it was so good. But now I'm like, man, I got to get something. I got to figure out something to get. I mean, I guess my figuring out is hotspot my iPhone, but my iPhone dies fast, or has been dying because I've been hotspotting it out, and I'm trying to hotspot it out. Battling which device I'm trying to keep alive. But when your main cell phone service dies and your other phone's good, it kind of defeats itself. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to maybe get a device, an Android device, on T-Mobile again, because I think it's proving worthy, and we might, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's go get this delivered. Gotta remember to unzip the bag. I hate unzipping it up there, and I hear the footsteps coming, and I'm like, man, I want to be prepared. I hate the customer didn't come out or nothing. Oh, that's right. I'm not going to know what. Oh, there it is. 2 for $5, guys. So here we go. Next order. And directions. There we go. All right. It says, in fact, we are going 9 minutes away. So, okay. Interesting. Apparently, my thought is we must be going up. Here's what it is. It looks like it's close because where I'm going is probably right over here. Well, you guys can't see it right now. But where I'm going is like right over to like straight ahead of us through those trees. So it seems close. Yeah, in fact, actually I can see it right over here. We're literally right next to where we're at. But there's no way to get over there because that's the new area that they've got. They've just built apartments and stuff. So I'm going to that new area up there, which is right up above like the food line and everything. But I have to drive 3 miles to get there. So that's why they said it was adding 4 miles, because it was like about an eighth of a mile to get to Wendy's and then 3.5 miles to get to this customer from here. Whatever. It is what it is. We would be going past this place anyways, or this whole area, to get back to where home, or for me to get home. So, hey, whatever. We're getting it. It's getting us that money. Me too. I unzip the bag before I leave the car. Yeah, I always do. I need a flashlight. Yeah, I turned the flashlight on my on my phone. I have it automatically. I swipe up on my Android phone because I have the one-handed mode. So I swipe up, it turns my camera on actually. And at night I turn it on so that as soon as my camera turns on, the light turns on. And then I hit record right away. So I'm recording, and then I can swipe it over and dock it away so I can still see everything on my page. Then I'll turn on my screen recording. Then I'll have that going, so it's screen recording all my information, all my swipes, all my hits, and then I have a video of me walking up. You can see where it's docked. You can see everything I'm recording is what I'm doing, and that way if anybody says anything, you didn't do the order, I got it all. And then I'll normally at night, sometimes I'll take the picture, and sometimes I just muscle memory, click it and turn it off, and I'll just reopen the app. But that way I don't have to be recording. Then since I'm screen recording, I'm still technically recording when I'm walking back to my car. So it's on screen record. You can see I've dropped it off, I'm walking back to my car, I got my bags empty, I get in my car, and then that's when I open my Z Fold, screen recording goes off, and we're good. Sounds like a lot. It's not at all. Not at all. It's not at all. But it works very well. And then I keep all that stuff. I'll clean out my copies of deliveries like every month. But I have my Z Fold's 512 gigabytes. And since I don't use it for anything else, I have it. And if I want to do a ride along or something back in the day, I would use all that stuff for my ride-alongs. But now when I do ride-alongs, whether it's with you guys or it's recording one, I don't show off the information anymore. I'm not doing it because I believe the apps are going to crack down on creators, and that's one of the ways they can do it. Now they can also crack down on me for showing the customer's house when I'm driving it by. Try to avoid that, but I figure if I'm not putting my screen up, you guys have to take my word for it. If you don't believe me, you don't believe me. I'm not out here. I really am not out here to tell you I'm the best delivery driver in the world, because I'm not. I earn what the apps let me earn. There is no superhuman delivery driver. I have my way of working. It makes my goals. I don't need to show YouTube that, oh my God, I'm making $300 out, because that's not true. I don't make $300 a day every day. I don't make $200 a day every day. And most drivers aren't doing that. And, could I try to show you a world where it looks like I'm doing that? Yeah. But that's not what my goal is. I'm just here to show you this is what it is. Share with you and get an authentic look, because I really don't care about Like there isn't a I'm the best. There isn't a we're just hitting accept and decline on the orders we got. Now there might be a thought process that might work well. There might be an app that's working well. There might be a way to, things. But the reality of the situation is, like, I go out and I have my strategy, and some days it doesn't work at all. Some days I'm like you just saw. I had a good run on Spark, and then it just like that, it cut me off, and it wanted me to go across town. I didn't want to go across town, so I sat. I said, well, fine, I'll adjust my goal to make $15. It is now 11 o'clock. 2 hours and 24 minutes in. I believe we were about an hour in when I set the goal to make $15. It took me an hour and a half to do it. Now, if I wouldn't have been streaming, I probably would have just abandoned it and said, screw it, the night's gone. But I want to show it. That's the real life of a delivery driver. That's what we do. And sometimes the craziness of, like, did I need $15? And not really. Was it worth it? Probably not. But sometimes it's also just keeping your mind on a goal, setting a goal, and achieving it. No matter how small it is or how big it is, you just do it. At the end of the day, you reach that goal, go home, and it'll help make sure tomorrow when you get started again, you're in a good frame of mind to go, all right, I'm going to go grab that goal. Even if it takes me a little while. All right, guys. I want to see if... Camera light is range though. I'm not sure of the address. I shine my flashlight the house. Oh, I got you. Yeah, you're right. The camera light does have limited range. It looks like my chat got behind again. So I apologize, guys. Well, I appreciate you keeping me company. It definitely makes it easier. That's why I really honestly like you do the streaming. I don't do the streaming. I mean, these streams make like very little money. But I prefer the verticals because it brings more people in. So I'm not doing, can you make, I guess you can make good money on YouTube. It's never been a tremendous earner for me, but I don't think I put the time into it. But that's not really what I'm doing it for, regardless of what some have alleged. But for me, it's because coming from a world where, to me, it was so beneficial to have people that you can talk to and interact with and get ideas from. It's nice to have that, and see you guys. Even you guys are chatting, but it's nice to be able to read the feedback, share thoughts, share ideas. Well, I appreciate that on the first. I appreciate having you guys there. I appreciate having you there. Coming in and talking and sharing your thoughts, validating my thoughts, or sharing something new with me, because it helps to have somebody, have people to springboard. All right, we got to flip you back into the car. There we go. We're coming up on the final drop-off. Did we melt our Frosties? That's the question. Oh, I've delivered to this house many times, actually. Now that I see the address, make sure I'm looking at the right address. Yep. Nope, I'm not. Okay. Glad I looked at the address. Is it going up or going down? I think it's going down. Okay. All right. So we got to do a little turn around. It's the house back there. Boy, why the hell did it send me there, DoorDash? Like, no wonder. It's like DoorDash tries to set you up to deliver to the wrong place. It sent me to the wrong address. Wait a minute. What the hell? Oh my God. Why did it send me here, dude? Oh man. Boy. Alright. Damn you, DoorDash. Turn you guys around. Hell, it sent me down. I don't know why it sent me down here. It's the apartments. It's not even that housing development. Shit, I'm glad I caught that, because I was looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute, why would it send me there? The next house wasn't in sequence. So then I started looking at the customer comments and they said, it's the apartments. Stupid. So now we're going to go down. and we got to go all the way down, and then we got to go all the way back up. So now I'm sure that customer's flipping out right now, like, holy shit, did he deliver to the wrong place? Don't worry, customer. All right, so this I feel better about. I prefer to deliver to apartments at night because it's so well lit. But these are super nice apartments. They're brand new. They overlook the river and they overlook this little shopping center. During the day, you can see the Potomac. It's really nice. And they're called Overlook. That's what it's. Overlook Apartments. Super duper nice. Got a nice pool. But they're about $2,000 a month. Starting. So now it's $5, which is pretty high for around here. I know in some territories it's not that high, but over here, this is what? It's unfortunately the state of our rental market. Yeah, I know, DoorDash, like, honestly, like, but I can see why, because if I would have followed that, and I would have looked, and I would have gotten out, and I would have taken a picture, I think it's where they sent me, and I don't know, man, I have no idea what, but that came right from the DoorDash app. I clicked into it, I hit directions, and this is where it sent me. And the thing is, it was a regular customer of mine that I was familiar with. All right, guys, I'll leave you guys right here. I'll be right back. Let's go ahead and unzip. All right, well, guys. Oh, I didn't even tell me what the payout was on that one, but I'm sure it was like $550 or something. So, customer did me a favor. That I already tell you. More likely than not, although we had long waits on the order, so that might give me rating protection as well. But one thing I learned is if the customer in the chat texts you about, like, hey, like, you're at the wrong address, or this, that, or there's extra instructions, the AI will automatically pick up on that it was about instructions to get to the apartment, and it will give you ratings protection. So the customer sent me a snipey message, obviously, because I was in the wrong area, and said, after following the instructions to get to the apartments, so I already kind of know this customer is probably going to come down on me in the ratings, but I think I've got protection now because guess what? They went to the chat with it. So now they can't get my ass like they thought they could. if they were planning on it in the first place. Because they went in and they put that note in, so they may not even, they may have wanted to just, I mean, they were telling me what entrance to come in, but which was helpful, but I could also tell they were also wanting to jab me for going to the wrong spot. So thank you for doing that, customer, because now you gave me protection from the rating you might give me if you're going to give me a poor rating for not getting to your house. So keep that in mind. If you want to provide ratings protection for yourself, according to the DoorDash agents, when you chat, if you chat respectfully in and like say, hey, is your house such and such, or sorry, whatever, if it detects, it's going, the AI is going to scan the conversation, and if it detects that you had problems finding the house, it's automatically going to pick up, and it's automatically going to give you credit for that. So we made $14 and $4 tip and $10.50, or $4 base pay and $10.50 tip. Now I want you, this is one of those orders right here, guys, where it mirrors. If I was on that order for earn by time, it took me, let's see, how long did it take me? It took me 42 minutes. So earn by time would have been, it's like Grubhub was on. So it would have been $9.27 plus the tip. So this is one of those where, like I said, oh, I'm still here. I guess I need to turn it off. I never turned it off. Where the earn by time, it looks like they want to send me to Wendy's, $6.52 for 11 miles. Yeah, no. All for 200 reasons. That's why you turned off now. All right, we're turning Uber off as well. Greg, I'm in West Virginia. A $10 tip. So you would see that, you would see some orders where, whereas this $10.50 tip was given to me, but I only got the $4 base pay. So instead, I gave up $5 in base pay on my end, but I got the $10 tip. Whereas the earn by offer driver would have seen a $9 base pay, and they would have made sure to funnel them the offer that maybe gave them a $2 tip or maybe a $4 tip and no tip, and they would have instead gotten the $9.82 base pay with the $4 tip out there. So you see how it almost mirrors. You know, you can see where this looks, the base pay on an order of similar time, that's what they're going to match up. So they're going to go, okay, this order would take 42 minutes, and we're going to put the base pay of $4 on it, and for the earn by offer driver, and the extra $5 to get that order delivered for the $3 tip, the $4 tips would now come out of that order, or come out of that tip and transfer over. So DoorDash would still only be paying the base pay of whatever it was, $4, and they slid the tip over. I hope that's making sense. What's phase 2, Inspector Colombo? Phase 2 now is to maintain platinum and test out the theory that we can maintain platinum by doing the following. This is the strategy. We are going to be riding the AR down to 75% using earn by offer and taking advantage or seeing what advantages there are in the alleged priority, large order program, etc. Then, when we get to 75%, we will then switch over to earn by time, and we will then focus on, when we're doing DoorDash and have it on, doing earn by time to get our AR back up into the 90s again, or 85, or wherever we feel, and then turn off earn by time and turn back earn by offer. And we're going to see just how economically viable it is. And we're going to try to incorporate multi-apping now into it. In other words, when we were doing it before, I was trying to just get up to 100%, focus solely on DoorDash, and I had Spark turned off and stuff like that. Now, when we get over to the 75, it's going to be kind of like akin to, let's take a break, let's go in and let's go hard on DoorDash and get those AR points back up. So I'm wanting to test and just see where it all ends up at. Greg, you're in Florida. Welcome. Welcome from Florida. As they say, it's Little Caesars. Welcome, welcome. What we say here in the chat. So glad to have you. So we're about to end the stream right now. I'm going to go over numbers for today. And we're going to... Now, obviously, the stream's only been going for like 2.5 hours, so these numbers are not for the entire stream. This is for the entire day. Go ahead and plug it in here. 11:04. Definitely extended things out a little bit longer than it needed to be, for certain. All right, so we made $154.01. Now look at the numbers and how they all settled in. Because now this is because we chased that stupid $15. It would have been a lot better if we would have got off and I would have just said abandon $15, go home, Sparks down, whatever. We started out, the first session I worked 51 minutes. The next session I worked 156 minutes, which is basically like 2.5 hours. Then I worked 297 minutes, which was, and really that's kind of broken up a little bit in there. There was a little bit of a noise in there, which is probably, yeah, because I got dinner for my kids and we went home for a little bit. So anyways, but it's neither here nor there. But we made $156.76 today. But we drove 98 cents a mile. Now that's because, now again, understand this. I was able to dash and incorporating getting things done, getting my kids, and turning the apps back on. So some of those miles would not have been normally run if I was just working straight up. But I was able to convert over some of the personal miles I might have driven by dashing or sparking towards things or through things, around things. So anyways, 98 cents a mile. So not great. We also, now, we made $18.66, what we call dash time, an hour. We made $25.35 delivery time per hour, or what I would call, I guess, active time. Now, again, a lot of that was drugged down because of the last hour and a half where we only made $15 for, what, an hour, I guess it would be about an hour and a half of work. So we made about $7.50 an hour. So those numbers took a real hit by chasing. So what do we take from that? Was it worth it? It was for the stream to be out, say we hit the goal. But was it really worth it? Chasing that extra $15. Is that going to make that big of a difference? Probably not. We didn't get the greatest miles to money on those offers. We definitely would have been over $1 a mile, if not better. So answer to that question is no, it was definitely not worth it. Our average wait time today was 12 minutes. We waited an average of 12 minutes for order. Again, a lot of that seeped in because of the long wait we were having to try to capture that $15. So that was a disastrous decision to chase $15. Let's see here, what other numbers do we want to go over here? We had a 14-minute wait times at the stores. So that was again driven up, I think, because of some of these waits that we just had tonight. So again, just disastrous decision to stay out and work and do all this. So what does it come out to? What's the bottom line? We retained 70% of what we made, which is about in line with what we do every night. We made $156.76. We paid $19.41 in taxes. We put $16 towards our car maintenance fund. $11.62 in actual gas cost. So out of the $156.76, we still made over $100. We made $109.74 after all expenses. So we took our money today, nearly 70% of what we made. So that's our day, guys. Tomorrow, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow will be another day where I'll have my kids with me. I'll probably stream again in the evening. Because we're going to be running around, going to practices, running errands, and doing things. And we're trying to stream a little bit or work a little bit while we're doing those different things. And then in the evening time, I'll come out and I'll include you guys. I hope Spark is popping. But we'll see. So with that said, guys, we're going to end the stream. At 24 of you strong, hit that like button. We're stuck at 11. I appreciate it if you hit the like button. So let's go through the stream and say hello and thank you. So Inspector Colombo, thank you for stopping in. Greg, I'm Nefarious. Slytherin, Beth Young, thank you. I'll be platinum this weekend. Congratulations. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate that. I'm Nefarious. Let's see here. Who else we got? Ari Mack, thank you for stopping in. Who else we got? Potato Sack, Shane Epley, S. Beasley, Chevy 5-speed, Hot Doggin', I appreciate you stopping in. That's good stuff, Hot Dog. Well, I don't know if you're still there, Hot Doggin', but I appreciate you coming in. I'm glad to hear that. That's the stuff I want to hear. It's exactly the type of feedback. Caleb Dakima, sorry, Caleb, I missed you saying hello earlier, but I want to say hello now as we're saying goodbye. So I'll say hello and goodbye. Agent 86, hello and goodbye. I know we talked earlier. So I think that's everybody. So appreciate everybody that stopped in chat tonight. Everybody hit the like button on the way out if you haven't yet. Appreciate that. And then we'll be chatting again tomorrow, guys. So another successful day because we got through it. We're going home safe. We're going home with money. That's all we can help for, right? Listen, guys, until we talk again, be on the lookout to this week. Dashing with John will be should be dropping the video showing the results of our dash off on Saturday. So be on the lookout for that. Get subscribed to Dashing with John so you don't miss it. Anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you soon and stay rational.